From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
We are waking up to temperatures in the single digits this morning. Now at 4:30, our Nikki Dementry shows us the importance of bundling up.
Plus, an Indiana man and his family at the center of a Super Bowl advertisement this morning, the message behind the campaign. Happy Monday, and thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Megan Shin.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Maybe you stayed up to watch all of the Super Bowl, part of the Super Bowl. I went to bed a little bit after halftime, Todd. Woke up this morning to pretty chilly temperatures walking in, but I would say, I was just telling Megan, it wasn't windy when at least when I was walking in, and that helped a little bit.
You know,
yes.
that I always say it, and people make fun of me, but it's so true. I say the wind is always the ultimate equalizer.
Right.
You know, even yesterday in the sunshine, temperatures weren't all that bad because there wasn't much in the way of a wind out there. Temperatures this morning are in the single digits in northern locations. 3 right now in Peru, 6 in Lafayette, 12 in Indianapolis. And even though there's not much of a wind out there currently, we are still factoring in wind chill values that are below 0 from Peru to Lafayette, where it feels like it is currently minus 6 degrees. 6 above is what it feels like right now in the Bloomington area. There's a few light snow showers making their way through Lafayette over towards Peru and Muncie. And obviously with temperatures this cold, it's that very light, fluffy snow. And so you'll probably get a quick coating here in some northern locations. The rest of central Indiana will avoid this snow this morning, but then later on this afternoon and into the evening hours, southern areas, you will start to get into the potential for some accumulating snow. But most of the daytime hours today are just going to be dry with partly to mostly cloudy skies and very chilly. High temperatures will only be in the mid-20s, Lauren, once again this afternoon.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at your commute. This is US 31 all the way up at State Road 32 in Westfield. Good morning to you. You can see traffic there is traveling smoothly, very quiet out that way. We'll continue to keep you updated. Let's take a look right now from another INDOT traffic camera. This one here is at I-65 and Keystone Avenue. Looks like we're having trouble pulling that one up right now. But right now I can tell you the good news as you're heading out on the roads. No crashes, no issues to slow you down. We'll be keeping you updated as we learn anything else that could slow down your Monday morning commute. Megan?
Lauren, thank you. New overnight, a man is in jail after leading police on a chase across the city. It started just after midnight near Claremont as a call for a suspicious person. And when officers arrived, the man took off in a work van. Police believe the man was intoxicated and tried to stop him. The suspect tried to run over an officer putting down stop sticks. He also damaged several police cars during the chase, which stretched from one side of the city to the other. It eventually came to a stop at Monument Circle. Officers say the man had a warrant out for syringe possession.
Well, when temperatures are as cold as they are this morning, you hear our team of meteorologists say that we'll need to bundle up really good before you head out there, Megan.
That's right. And this morning, WRTV's Nikki Dementry shows us the reality of what happens if you don't layer up.
Frostbite is very nasty, and some of that can cause some severe permanent damage long term.
It's also a reality during what experts say is an unusually long stretch of frigid temperatures.
Those are our most vulnerable groups, our kids and our seniors.
Burgersville Deputy Fire Chief Michael Pruitt asked those that must venture out in these dangerous temperatures to layer up. That means hat, gloves, wool socks, boots, scarves, and a thick jacket.
Why is it important to make sure things are dry?
So if we go back out into that cold weather, the extreme cold, and it's wet, it's going to freeze. And then your skin tissue is going to freeze. And then we're going to run the risk of not only frostbite, but hypothermia.
It seems everyone always tells us during these really cold temperatures to bundle up. Why is it so important? We're going to figure it out to see where heat stays in and also is lost.
Right now, you've trapped all your heat inside. You're not giving off a lot. We know you're losing some heat around your eyes and in your legs. So, and I know that because we used the thermal imaging camera.
And when I took off a glove,
all the heat that you had retained in your hands is now going to be gone. And now you're going to start running the risk of frost nip, frostbite.
Same went for when I removed one of 2 jackets I was wearing.
I'm seeing more white to where you're not getting the type of thermal protection you were getting with the heavier coat on.
Now for Pruitt, the cold temperatures and fighting fires aren't a new combination. He's been doing this for 35 years, but it is potentially an extremely dangerous one.
Our gear will freeze.
And to show you just how quickly that can happen, I geared up.
Oh, great. Okay. Fantastic.
And went back outside again to simulate what it's like for the men and women fighting fires in the cold.
And immediately when we're in these low temperatures, our gear starts freezing and it gets really hard to move around. And so the quicker we can get our folks done with their work and into a warmer environment, get them in fresh gear, the safer they're going to be.
Just 5 minutes outside in the shade during 20-degree weather and my gear froze up. The ground underneath my boots did too.
It's starting to stiffen up. I can see the ice.
Yes.
Pruitt says it's almost instantaneous when the thermometer hovers around zero. That's why they are constantly changing equipment that can fail during these temperatures and calling backup if needed.
In the extreme heat of the summer, we're calling for extra help. In the extreme cold, we're calling for extra help.
Takeaways for Hoosiers heading into this long stretch of frigid temperatures: prepare and check on your neighbors. Limit your time outdoors, but if you do venture outside, bundle up and seek immediate medical attention if you suspect frostbite or hypothermia.
Just give us a call. That's why we are here. You pay tax money for us to come out and look and assess medical emergencies. So we want you to do that. We'd rather you do that than have a medical emergency when it's too late.
Working for you, Nikki DeMentry, WRTV.
Way to get in there, Nikki. And carbon monoxide poisoning is also a concern during this time, which is one of the reasons Pruitt is urging Hoosiers to avoid using a gas stove for warmth. And you can track the temperatures and get a live look at radar on the Storm Shield app. All you need to do is download it for free in your smartphone's marketplace. Lauren?
Megan, let's turn now to the coronavirus pandemic and its continued impact on our state. This morning, state health officials report nearly 1,800 new cases of the virus. Since the pandemic began, nearly 640,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. The state also reports 55 more people in Indiana have died with the coronavirus. So far this month, 146 Hoosiers have died with the virus. So now let's take our turn and look at the hospital resources available. A little more than 34% of the state's ICU beds remain available today, and nearly 79% of the ventilators are open for use. Megan?
And South Africa is stopping its rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccine due to the COVID variant spreading throughout the country. Frontline healthcare workers were supposed to start getting the vaccine this month, but a small clinical trial showed the AstraZeneca shot wasn't effective in preventing mild to moderate illnesses from the COVID variant. Health officials in South Africa say the mutation is currently accounting for 90% of COVID cases there. Scientists are planning more studies to see if the AstraZeneca vaccine can still fight severe cases from the variant.
My father, Paul, played college football here. Later, he coached 6 future pro players and was athletic director at one of Indiana's largest high schools. In March, he was infected with the coronavirus and passed away on Easter Sunday.
Well, this was a really unforgettable moment during the Super Bowl. I know at our house it made everyone be quiet to turn up the volume on the TV. A commercial airing during the Super Bowl paid tribute to a former North Central athletic director, Paul Logan, who died from COVID-19. The Logan family is a football family. Paul is a Hall of Fame football player from the University of Indianapolis, and now his son will go there as well as a junior student athlete. Will says that his older brother played football as well. His younger sister is a football manager for IU. The 30-second commercial was produced by the state of Indiana in hopes of encouraging Hoosiers to get vaccinated.
What do you think Dad would think?
Oh, he would have loved it. He definitely would have loved it. He probably would have teared up seeing it, but he definitely would have loved that commercial.
Will aspires to be an athletic director just like his dad someday. He says the family hopes to have a gala to raise money for the Paul Logan Foundation that was started just a few months ago. You can watch the full Super Bowl ad in this story. Just go to the WRTV News app.
Hit straight to the heart. Thank you, Lauren. And this morning, the President of the United States is recognizing former Indiana First Lady Susan Bai after her death. Bai died following a battle with glioblastoma. She was the First Lady from 1989 until 1997 when her husband Evan Bai was governor. The Bai family says a memorial service will be held with health conditions allowed. Susan Bai was 61 years old. And President Joe Biden releasing a statement following Bai's death. It says in part, quote, "Jill and I are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Susan Bai, a beloved public servant and a warm and wonderful friend who brought light to the lives of all who knew her." And a former First Lady of Indiana, Susan, came to Washington after her husband Evan served as governor Jr. and was elected to the United States Senate. In a family whose name is synonymous with service and achievement, Susan stood out as a singular treasure, a model of goodness, generosity, and grace, end quote.
It is 4:40 here, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady making history in last night's Super Bowl. Their unusual honor still to come, or their usual honor still to come this morning, Megan.
Plus, former President Trump's impeachment trial is set to begin tomorrow. Coming up, we're breaking down what's expected in the week ahead. Todd?
And as we go throughout the morning, there's some snow showers in northern locations currently, but it's southern locations that'll start to pick up some accumulating snow later on this evening. Winter weather advisories are posted across parts of the area. We'll break it all down for you coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back. It is 4:43. Here's a live look at traffic. I-70 at Midhofer Road. You can see traffic there. It's pretty quiet out to our east. Not monitoring any crashes or slowdowns right now for your commute, but of course we're going to keep a close eye on those roads throughout this chilly Monday morning, and we'll keep you updated. So Megan, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making history, being the first team ever to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium.
That's right. And as for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was hounded by the Buccaneers defense all night. Mahomes spent most of the night on the run from a relentless pass rush, registering 3 sacks. It was tough for the young quarterback to get in any kind of rhythm. Experience wins this time, you guys. Brady winning his 7th Super Bowl title. That's an NFL record. And here's what he had to say following the big game.
Just really proud of all the guys, proud of all the coaches, the effort we put in. We knew we were playing a great football team tonight, and we got the job done. So you want to get this far, you got to get the job done, and we did it.
Brady now joins Peyton Manning as the only other quarterback to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams, Lauren.
Congratulations to them. And now to the Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. That's set to begin this week. But as ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains, there are stark differences between this trial and Trump's impeachment trial that was a year ago.
He will be the first president to undergo an impeachment trial after leaving office.
The managers on the part of the House of Representatives are here and present and ready to present the article of impeachment.
Former President Donald Trump's Senate trial is set to begin tomorrow, his second in as many years. He's facing a single article of impeachment which alleges he incited the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill. But there are key differences between this trial and the first, including that Trump is no longer president and therefore cannot be removed from office.
We're going to do our constitutional responsibility and hold a trial.
Many Republicans, however, arguing the trial is unconstitutional.
If you believe he committed a crime, he can be prosecuted like any other citizen. Impeachment is a political process.
Meanwhile, a new ABC News Ipsos poll shows a majority of Americans say Trump should be convicted this time and barred from holding federal office ever again. And this trial, unlike the last, is expected to focus less on witness testimony and more on video from the deadly insurrection. It would take 67 senators to vote to convict Trump, meaning Democrats would need the support of 17 Republicans to secure a conviction. Another contrast from Trump's first trial, when no Republicans voted to impeach. This time, 10 GOP House lawmakers crossed party lines, including Wyoming's Liz Cheney, who stands by that decision.
We've never seen that kind of an assault by a president of the United States on another branch of government, and that can never happen again.
And much like the first go-around, conviction is unlikely given the number of GOP senators who have already voted. They believe the trial is unconstitutional. And this could be somewhat of a two-part process here. If enough senators vote to convict, then the chamber could hold a second vote that would potentially bar Trump from ever holding federal office again. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Well, listen up, teachers. You'll be able to deduct out-of-pocket expenses on your taxes for any personal protective equipment you bought for school. And this can include face masks, disinfectant, soap, hand sanitizer, even tape and chalk used to set up social distancing markers inside of the classroom. The items can only be deducted if they were bought after March 12th of last year, and teachers can deduct up to $250 worth of supplies. There is another condition, too. If teachers were reimbursed for the materials by the school, they are not eligible for the tax deduction, Lauren.
Well, rescue operations continue this morning in northern Indiana After a Himalayan glacier broke, that burst on Sunday triggered flash floods. Military personnel, border police, and National Disaster Response Force teams have been activated to help with this rescue. We know more than 100 people are missing and at least 7 are dead. Back here at home, we do want to get a check of our forecast as we start a brand new work week, Todd, a week we're not really looking forward to, honestly.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot going on. Once again, the temperatures are going to be cold. We probably don't get above freezing this entire week, and we'll have several opportunities, Lauren, to pick up a little bit of light snow across parts of the area, and one of those opportunities is actually right now in some northern locations. In downtown, though, we're not dealing with any visibility issues. As you look from downtown to the north, we are just fine. Visibility not an issue. It is cold, though. 12 in Indy, 3 is what it feels like. Thankfully, the winds are not very strong out there, just out of the east right now at 6 miles per hour. But look at all these single digits that we have out there. Richmond, Muncie, Tipton, Crawfordsville, Lafayette, and Peru in the single digits. 16 as you work your way down into the Bloomington area, and Martinsville at 12. But this is what it really feels like, and everybody feels like they're in single digits when you factor in. Thankfully, it's just that light wind, but it does feel like it is below 0 here in Lafayette as well as the Peru area. Highs today are probably going to be only in the low to mid 20s, so we'll just focus on the wind chill values. This is what it's really going to feel like throughout the day today. Single digits through the morning commute and the bus stop, and then as we work our way into the afternoon hours, we're looking at temperatures that'll start to feel like they are in the teens. I mentioned the snow that is currently out there. It's very, very light, and it's only for those of you in our northern counties. Lafayette over towards the Tipton area into portions of Kokomo. Muncie just kind of on the borderline. So this could put down a quick ½ an inch to an inch. The rest of central Indiana is just fine. This is the first wave that goes through. A second wave of snow is going to arrive this evening, and that wave's going to be a little more widespread, and that's going to bring some light accumulating snow back into the forecast as we work into the evening hours. Now, I think most of it probably arrives as we get towards the tail end of the evening commute, but there's some areas that are going to start to see the snow a little bit before the evening drive and late afternoon. So just kind of plan on some snow this evening. The heavier totals are going to be down to the south where the snow just lingers a little bit longer, and we're not talking about any super duper snowfall accumulation here, but it is going to be about a 1 to 2 inch snow for us. The accumulation you see here in northern locations, that's mainly what's happening right now, and then we'll kind of kick in a little more here in southern locations later on this evening. So just know that there is the potential for some snow later on tonight with that 1 to 2 inch range. Pretty much what we'll see, I think, across most of the area. There is a winter weather advisory for Columbus and Greensburg, Seymour and Bedford. Does not include Bloomington. The further south you go, again, just a little bit more in the way of potential accumulation later on this evening. Tuesday is pretty quiet. Wednesday is another storm system. For most of us, it's some snow. It may mix in southern locations with some freezing rain, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. And then another reinforcing shot of colder air for the weekend with high temperatures that will only be in the teens and lows, Lauren, all the way back down into the single digits.
Cool. All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at your commute. This is I-65 from the pedestrian overpass here on the northwest side, northwest of the downtown area. You can see that traffic is moving along just fine. No delays to slow you down. I'm not monitoring any major crashes for your commute, so that is good news. Let's take a look, one more look here, I-69 all the way up at Scatterfield Road. You can see traffic there is traveling up to speed. Again, we'll keep you updated if there are any slowdowns for your commute. Just be careful out there of any slick spots. Megan.
Lauren, thank you. And the Super Bowl may be over, but the football season is just beginning for one local university. Marian University has a spring football schedule after the pandemic delayed the start of the season. The Knights' regular season starts Saturday at home against Trinity International. The team has 8 games on its schedule, not including the playoffs. Butler and UND start their seasons later in the spring. And directions from a man's GPS leaving him stranded in the snow for a week. Coming up, how his survival skills kept him alive.
Plus, putting students on the fast track to the front line. Coming up all new at 5 o'clock, we're going to take a look at a high school program giving students real-world experience as a CNA. It's 4:52. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. An amazing story of survival. A California man is lucky to be alive after GPS directions left him stranded and stuck in the snow for a week. 29-year-old Harlan Earls was driving to a birthday party on January 24th when a heavy snowstorm shut down the highway. Seeking an alternate route, he turned on his GPS for help, but the device didn't account for the road being unplowed. And Earls' car got stuck in the deep snow, and he was outside of cell phone range. Using a chainsaw he kept in his car, Earl was able to cut wood and build a fire at least. His propane camp stove came into handy as well, but he used it to melt snow into drinking water. And once the snow stopped, Earls strapped 2 snowboards to his feet and hiked to where he could get cell phone service and call for help. What an innovative guy during a time of distress. And Todd, thank goodness we don't have to do that here, at least right now.
No, and thankfully we just have a little bit of light snow in our forecast here, and that includes later on this evening. There's some snow showers in northern locations right now, but it's a little more widespread tonight. Nothing major, but a quick inch or two is possible. Tuesday is dry, and then Wednesday a little more potent storm system comes through. For most of us, it's light snow once again. For some of you in southern locations, it is the potential for some freezing rain. We'll talk about that and those cold temperatures you see there as well coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.